What is up, y'all? Coffee Shop Top number 34 live. Good. What's up, Ginger Snap? And it is August 18th, early in the morning. I even got early morning eyes. And I guess this is my third cup of coffee. The first couple aren't as potent. And then I go to the iced coffee and I spice it up a little bit. Anyways, welcome y'all. I don't expect a lot of people to be here. I kind of just jumped on real quick. Is Riz in the house? What is up, is Riz? I'm surprised you're awake. Oh, look at the little kittens you got in there. Oh, I love it. We're going to be talking about kittens. We're going to have some kittens. And then as you can see back behind me, we got some little elephants. For some reason, you're going to find out. And then we got the little orangies. We got about 3 little orangies that are hanging out around here. I haven't been able to get any recent pics of them lately. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. Doing different things with the audio. You gotta head to work here pretty soon. I gotcha. So we got 3 little orangies that are hanging out. 2 of them kind of stay close together. One of them's kind of like an adventurer. So hopefully not too much of an adventurer because there's a fox. So I got a couple stories and then we'll get into some of the recent photos of some of the kittens. And then we're going to get into what I thought the Kopi Luwak, if I'm saying that, Luwak, I thought that cat, feline, monkey species coffee was the most expensive. Maybe it's the most rare, but it's not. We're going to get into that, as you might see in the title, with Black Ivory coffee. So we'll get there. What's up, Ron? What's happening, bro? And this will be like a timeline cleanse, as they call it, a channel cleanse. So I'm also doing this on the Rumble, even though for whatever reason, people don't watch this on the Rumble hardly at all. It's like the coffee shops do well on Substack. And they do, it's still growing on YouTube, which is going live on YouTube right now as well. But I usually don't always do these on the Rumble because people just don't watch them. It's like, you guys just like me when I go psycho mode like I did yesterday on Ultra. I enjoy those, but not everybody. It's not everybody's cup of coffee, if you know what I mean. All right. What is up? Still people rolling in. I love it. Kitties. Yes, we're going to get into some kitties. And it is good to see you too, Ron. I didn't say that, but it's good to see you, bro. And D Sully, what is up? You caught alive. Veronica Rabbit, good morning. I was just watching your vid from yesterday so this will be in contrast to that. Nice and chill. I'm going to try not to say any curse words. I'm going to keep it nice and chill, hopefully. And yes, he is. It's like I want to think that eventually there's going to be somebody that steps up that I can trust, or that doesn't screw me, or doesn't use me. Like, there's been other ones that I haven't gotten into so much because some people that are going to see this really like these people still that I've worked with, but I just keep it nice and chill because I could tell a lot more. I'm not trying to gossip, but I'm always trying to be real. This is like, you guys get like a video vlog, if you will. A blog in video form, vlog of my life to a certain extent. And yes, I'm doing something on a mission to call out the BS that I see the best that I can. I fall for things, like I'm a human with all of you. If something like Ultra happened, and it's happened with like a Madison Marquette going on all these shows, if something like that happened with the truthers, then they just never talk about it again. They just gaslight. They don't tell you the truth about what happened. I'm going to be straight up and tell you. And I'm going to call it out. And I'm going to be real. And I'm going to apologize to everybody for giving him a platform. Some of the other ones I don't necessarily apologize for. I mean, Patrick Mockridge and I have gotten into it. But at the same time, like, I don't regret the work we did. It's just hard to understand his messaging. And then there's Mike Gill's messaging, as he says, that needs to be more. He needs to stay on his course and what he understands. And as he knows it, he's already got enough information to take down the whole shebang. But yes, what is up, Ginger Snap? I love you, and I'm glad you're here. Over on the Substack, what's up, Kaylee, Real Cousin It, Cynthia Garcia, Oshaman, Deb, and yes, Rumble, all the platforms, everybody has a different experience. So some people have a really tough time on Substack. Some people have really tough time on Rumble. And I don't delete comments. I mean, if some psycho comes in and it just gets obnoxious, then I start deleting them, but that's very rare. But some people have different experiences. So know this is also on YouTube, D-Mind to Booma on YouTube, and you can get it in the link tree that should be down below this video. On Substack, that's not possible, I don't think, right now, because there's nothing below the video. But you can find me, D-Mind to Booma. You can get over there, and you can find different ways to be able to view it if you're having a not so pleasant experience. But we're gonna have a lovely experience. So I have a new skunk story too. Just happened last night. I was outside and I've been enjoying. So we have foxes too. That's become a situation, but I don't think that they're picking off any of the kittens. So I think hopefully they're just getting the moles. And if that's the case, yay foxes. And they cute just like the skunks. I'm really like, we trapped a lot of the skunks, but there's still 2 of them from that family, the little ones. And unfortunately, it sounds like they went to Jesus. And I didn't know that was the case. I didn't make that call. It is what it is. But they were all over the place, and it could have become a problem. And the competition with the kittens and stuff like that was kind of getting ridiculous. And we want the opossums, we want the kittens, and then the foxes need to play nice. I actually chased one down the hill a little bit, and that little guy, it was like he was messing with me, like he was playing a little bit. I could see his eyes because I had the flashlight on him. This was last night in the dark. And I was running towards him because he wasn't seeming like he was getting intimidated. I was like, oh, really? And so I started jogging towards him, and he started running towards me, but he was just, it's like near like all these raspberry bushes. So there was like an opening where a tree had fallen, which I think I reported on in one of the coffee shop talks before, or one of the other ones. A tree had fallen over these bushes, and he was just going into that like hole in the bushes, the briars. So it was just hilarious because the skunk is just, or this fox is just playing with me. But yes, now let's get to the skunk story. So I'm listening to Sabrina Wallace after my live last night, and the sun was going down. It was dark. I was listening to that video that is linked down below the video that I just did on Ultra. Bye Ultra. I was listening to that. And so it was dark, but I'd already gone around with my flashlight. And so it's fun because it's like you can see all the little kitten eyes, and you can see where they're all at, like at night, because they come out more at night because it's like been so hot during the day. And so I had done that. And now I was sitting in a chair just right outside the front door of the house. All dark, no light on above me or anything like that. All dark. Just staring at my phone, listening to Sabrina. And all of a sudden, down below, like near my right foot, all of a sudden I watched this little tiny skunk. It's like one of the babies. It's not full grown, but it's not helpless. It walks into my view, and I just look over, and I'm like, oh no. And I'm like, I freeze in panic because my mind immediately thinks like, I'm gonna get sprayed. I'm gonna have the worst next 2 to 3 weeks of my life, and I'm gonna have a lot of tomato juice in my future. But I'm telling myself as I'm staring at this skunk, and it comes all the way up to my freaking foot and starts sniffing my foot. I was wearing Crocs, and there's holes in the Crocs. I could feel it's like sniffer, like going in and out like a little bit on one of the holes, and I was like, oh my god. And part of my brain was saying, turn on the camera and film this because this is gonna be gold. But I could not get myself to move, you guys. I couldn't move. I was so scared, but the skunk wasn't freaking out at all, and it just stayed chill. It smelled me, it hung out for a second, and then it just waddled away. And even as it was waddling away, I was like, get video footage so you have proof of it. And I was still like in like this like panic mode of telling myself, all I could think was just breathe, just stay cool. They sense the nervousness. It's like, like don't trigger it by being scared. And by the time that I could even get my faculties together, I just went in the house. Just calm down and breathe and like let it all out. I was like, oh my gosh. That little skunk, man, little stinker, literally walked up to my foot, sniffed it. It was just like a kitty, just like no big deal. It was actually, braver than the kittens. They wouldn't do that. And then it just waddled off. So I was like, oh my gosh, that was close, man. I would have been like a whole new next 2 to 3 weeks. Like I literally would have been showing you guys like me bathing in like not nude, but I mean like I would have been like bathing in freaking tomato juice, and you guys would have seen like I don't know. I don't even know what it would have been like, but I was imagining all that at once as soon as I saw this skunk, and it's like you can't just like run, you can't do anything. He's fucking don't want to scare it. So there it was. Oh mouth. So some of you like the foul mouth Booma. Hey, that's me in my natural habitat. Like if I'm just hanging out in my living room, it's my house, my rules. Like you're gonna get a lot of cussing. I don't try to do it like on purpose. I'm not trying to be all tough or whatever. It's just literally like that's my upbringing. Like not my family's fault. I listen to a lot of bad music. Well, I love the music still, but it's that rap and rock and hanging out with the boys and played sports, and it was that kind of talk. Plus, it's like all the masculinity is going away, so it is what it is. Not that you have the cuss to be a masculine guy, but I just try to be myself, man. It's a video. This is a vlog of my life, and that's who I am. So take it or leave it. Grand Risings, rise and shine with Booma. Love it. Good morning. Yes. Are you guys enjoying some coffee? Because we're about ready to get into some pictures of some kitties. Boss is coming. We'll watch replay. Yeah, don't get caught at work. I don't want to be the reason anybody gets in trouble at work. Oh, what's up? Probably just decided those feet stank enough already. I think I love the smell of my feet. And it was like, but it didn't hang around long after that. So you might be right. Skunks don't overreact by spraying unless they feel threatened by something. One of the skunks that got trapped did drop its load or whatever because we could smell it for a day or so. But it is what it is, man. We still got 2 of them, and hopefully those ones can hang out and be all cool, and it won't be a problem. Went home, took a tomato. Yes. The skunk went and had to take a tomato juice. I love it, Ron. The skunk got a Booma odor on it and it had to go bathe itself. I love that. That is great. Biscuits was thinking of it too. All right, so let's get into some pictures because this was kind of like shocking to a little bit because like the mama cat that we call Spooks. She comes up all the time and she starts rubbing on things when she thinks she's gonna get some fish, and like we freaking give her the goods a lot of times. And there's other cats, but she's our favorite. She comes up all the time, and the kittens have been coming up occasionally with her, but as soon as we like show a presence, they hear us or whatever, they just dart back down to the shed and they hide. Well, last night for some reason they got more brave. Grease monkey. It's a grease monkey just hanging out. It was just like, and this is just the first of many, but like it was shocking. And Grease Monkey is no longer in the car. Grease Monkey is hanging out with the pack at the shed most of the time, like during the hot time of the day and stuff like that. What's up, Valerie? And what's up, everybody? What's up, Kimberly on the Substack? And then what do we got? We got Shannon and Valerie. You're over on the YouTuber. And then the rest of you looks like you're over on the Rumble. Sweet. We got 43 on Rumble. Dang. That's way more than I thought we were going to get. Just short notice. 8 on the YouTube and 8 on the Substack. Cool. Hanging out. Yes. What a cutie indeed. Grease Monkey is my favorite. Also because Grease Monkey really liked my car. So thank you, Grease Monkey. So there's the Grease Monker. And there's Spookies. giving herself a little scratch, waiting for her fish. She's getting all excited because she knew something was coming, and she was keeping all of her little kittens calm. This one is, I call this one Stripes. This one will just, like, when I go down and put down food, it'll be the first one to come out, and it just starts mowing it. It's kind of like, you little hog. It's like he's like not gonna miss out on making sure that he gets his fill and he gets plenty of food out of the pigs. Nah, we'll stick with the other way. You guys don't need to look at me. Look at the kitties. So this one's called Stripes. And then this one is the male. I think it's a male. Actually, I don't know if it's a male, but I think it's a male, because if it was a female, I don't think Spooks would be cool with it, because there is another female that we call Squinty that's more like brown. Actually looks like it could been from the same litter that Spooks came from, but this is a newer one. I've shown him before, but I'm pretty sure it's a male, and he's kind of filled out, so he probably has a home. I don't know. But this is Spooks, and she's pretty cool with this cat. But this cat bows down to Spooks. Spooks owns this territory. It's kind of well known. And yes, hit the like button if you guys could. That would really help. These algos, huh? But so Spooks is pretty cool with this one. Now, if this one comes up while Spooks is eating, this one's kind of like, can I get in there and get some? And she'll swat. But she's pretty cool overall. And then just one more picture, because he's a cutie. He's kind of got that lion, like a thicker fur coming off of his face. I love it. And then this one. So this one, I call this one Peanut 2.0, because my sister has a cat called Peanut, and it has the same exact look in a lot of ways as this kitten. It's crazy. So it's Peanut 2.0. And then this is Monster. And for those of you that actually watch these coffee shop talks and have heard the saga with Monster, Monster was the kitten that got into our garage and was in there for at least a good night. And it was like I think it was a night or two. And it was super hot and humid, not eating. It was hiding out in our van's engine. And then we caught Monster in there, but we couldn't grab him. And then ran over to my mom's car and got into that one, into the engine compartment. And that it was in my mom's one, and then it went over to the van one. We couldn't get to it. It was just impossible. However, that little kitten, it was much smaller than it is now. And we backed the van out so that if we could scare it out, it would run outside, not in the garage anymore. Even though Monster had a clean shot after running out of my mom's car, and I was chasing it, it could have just ran out of the freaking garage. But no, it went right up into the van compartment, a little bugger. So anyways, got into the van. We opened up the hood. We were going to pour some water down to see if the water would like chase the cat out and it would take off. And it was on the top, and I was like, oh my God, there it is. And I reached, and I grabbed the thing behind the neck, and I pulled him out. And I thought I had him behind the neck, and I thought they would just like be submissive. No, they don't give a fuck. Not feral cats. Its back legs started coming up and just scratching the shit out of my hand. And I was like, oh my God, it hurts, because they have like little razors. And I dropped the guy, and then he ran off. Well, then he got into my car. We opened up the hood, and like they were all in there. All the kittens were in my car at one point. When Spooks moved them from wherever they were before, and Monster caught up with them after leaving, after being away from them for a full night at a very young age, really, caught up with them. They were all in my car, like literally 5 freaking kittens in the engine at the top. And my dad had gloves on, grabbed Monster, and this monster kitten was screaming like a little baby male. Or a little baby human was just screaming at the top of its lungs like a human. It was creepy. And Spooks came running over and freaking out, Mama. And I was like, drop him, Dad. And Dad just dropped him. Monster took off. Spooks followed it. There was a big saga where like it really probably traumatized Monster to a degree. But here he is, coming right up to the door with Mama, And so he made a dash. What was in there was like sardines. So full little fish. And it took him a while, but he ran up, grabbed one, and took off. And I was like, that's how you do it. And so for the final one of this part of this coffee shop talk, boom, all four of them were together. So starting from the left, you have Monster, and then the next one over that's in the big dish is Stripes, and then coming up, not eating, but on the farthest back with the white nose, that's Peanut 2.0, and then on the right is Grease Monkey. All together. Thank you, Valerie. All together, the kittens are hanging out, and this is like literally we're just on the other side of the door, and so they see us sometimes. If we move too quick, they start to run. If we talk too loud, they get spooked. But it's kind of cool to see them all together and that close up and personal. It was like really freaking cool. So that's what I have on the kittens. Now, why do we have elephants here? Well, that's what we're getting into next. So that's the update with the skunks, the fox. I did a little fox story. That thing is, I swear it's playing with me to a certain degree because I know it just comes back. But I think that they're focused on like catching the moles, and there's plenty of them, so that's good. Stay away from the cats. I just keep telling it, stay away from the cats. Like that's my rule. Cats are on our property. This is our domain. You stay cool with that. I'm cool with you. You can catch all the moles you want. So anyways, now we're going to get into what this black ivory coffee. Now, I thought that Kopi Luwak was the most expensive coffee, but it might just be the most rare. So I guess to give just like a little idea of what I'm doing here is I covered the Kopi Luwak, which was like that cat-like species, but I looked this up and it says, yes, black ivory coffee is generally more expensive than the Kopi Luwak. And then black ivory coffee, I guess they have their own company, I think it's in Thailand, is considered the most expensive coffee in the world. And this has to do with elephants. So it's elephants. So the coffee is made using Arabica beans that are consumed by elephants and then naturally processed through their digestive tract, just like the Kopi Luwak through those cat-like, monkey-like mammals. It is produced in limited quantities at select Anantara resorts in Thailand and the Maldives. And then, Kopi Luwak was a coffee that I covered in a past coffee shop talk, just like 2 ago. This coffee is made from beans that have been eaten and excreted by Asian palm civets. So it's like a cat-like species. It's primarily produced in Indonesia. But when I did that episode, someone did come in and say that it's horrendous what they are doing because they're catching a lot of these civets, these Asian palm civets, putting them in cages and forcing them to eat this freaking stuff so that they can make this coffee, which I freaking should have known because people are just freaking evil. And so it's not really a great thing. And I hope that they could actually do something about stopping that kind of thing. So, but the focus for this one's going to be this black ivory coffee, which apparently is the most expensive coffee. Crazy. I thought it was the Kopi Luwak. But we're going to find out now as we share this video that's actually 11 years old. I had one. You can drink your own pee, maybe don't though, but there are some people that say there's a freaking great health benefits to it. I haven't gotten into that because I'm just not interested. But anyways, we're talking about coffee that's being excreted out of the butts of animals, and people are all freaking spending high quantities of money for it. So let's get to this video. Like I said, it's 11 years old. Let me plug in my computer so we don't freaking go zap. Black Ivory Coffee, and it's like no subscribers, but this did get 58,000 views over the 11 years it's been up. There was another one that was shorter, but this one actually, in my opinion, the other one had like a AI voice, but this one was more heartwarming and made me feel better about it. Because when I heard the story about the Kopi Luwak and them putting them in cages and stuff, I was like, oh my gosh. So I want to cover this, if they are, because this seems like a company, Black Ivory company, if they are putting these dang elephants through trauma to make this coffee, then fuck them. But let's check out this video and see what they have to say in this case.
I think when a lot of people see Black Ivory coffee or they hear the story, they're like, it's as simple as giving some good quality coffee beans to an elephant, out it comes, and you got a good cup. It's taken me 10 years to develop this because it's very complicated in the whole process, making sure that the taste is great. And to do that, you got to be aware of every step in the process and be in control of that. And I wanted to come to Thailand because this has the combination of really interesting coffee. There is some high quality coffee, and to find a foundation that has enough elephants, that has a really strong approach to conservation, and where the elephants are well cared for, and that's the case here. I've spent 10 years on making this coffee, and if it was just a gimmick, I would have been selling it a long time ago. There's actually some science behind how it's made or why it tastes the way it does. And there's really two factors. The first is when the beans are being ingested by the elephant, it takes about 15 to 70 hours for the coffee to be digested. During that time, there's an enzymatic reaction. There's the acids in the stomach of the elephant that are breaking down the protein found in an elephant. And protein is one of the factors responsible for bitterness. So less protein equals a less bitter tasting coffee. So
that's awesome to hear, because that is a case. And some people like bitter coffee. I don't like the bitterness as much. So when you can cut down this protein, like he says, it's super important. And yes, according to some people, there's even another guy, a certified health nut. He's a crazy dude. He's crazy, like crazier than me kind of a thing. He's in his like 50s and he looks great and he's living great. And he talks about urotherapy as well and how it's a great, I don't know why it's good. I got to get into it, I guess. Maybe it's something I'll cover at some point, but I'm not real excited about it. However, like a lot of those guys that do like the Wim Hof and they get in the ice baths and they have those different healing techniques, they talk about that urotherapy all the time. And I'm like, what the heck? And yes, we're talking about booty beans and the digestive tract of these elephants breaking down the proteins of the beans, therefore reducing the bitterness. It's just kind of fascinating.
That's one thing. The second is that elephants are pretty much vegetarian. They're herbivores. And so really they're just eating vegetables, plant matter, fruits. And so when they want to digest their food, what they're doing is they're utilizing a lot more fermentation. And fermentation, whether it's for coffee, for wine, for beer, is fantastic, because what it does is it helps to bring out the sugar of the coffee and it helps to impart the fruit of the cherry into the bean. The taste is going to be chocolate, malt, cherry, and a little
chocolate. and I'm liking the way that this guy approaches it. He's saying it's taken him 10 years. Black Ivory Coffee Company. I wonder if they have like, would you be able to put a copyright on this, like for a trademark or whatever it would be, like a patent, like so that other people couldn't do this? I don't know, because I don't know if there's other companies. This is the only one that pops up and seems to have any popularity. Biscuit's saying here that you could just treat with a natural protease enzyme like papain, derived from papaya. This will do exactly the same thing without the elephant involved. And sure, I'm sure they're doing that. I think it's the for whatever reason, because humans are so fucking weird in the head. Oh no, I just said an F word on the coffee shop. I'm sorry. Gosh. Anyways, they love this idea of it being more exotic. It's more exotic this way. Published biscuits, punished biscuits, published biscuits, biscuits. Digital Dojo Variety Show, yo, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central. Don't miss it.
A little bit of grass, and you're not going to have any of the bitter aftertaste of coffee. We try to help in a few different ways. The first is we pay above market price for the coffee cherries. The second is we provide income generation for the mahouts and their wives, and they can earn a day's wage in about 45 minutes. So I feel good about that. Definitely, I think the mahouts and the wives appreciate that. And then the third way that we help out is we donate 8% of our sales, not profit, but sales, back to the foundation. And that money is going back to help pay for medicine, to help treat sick elephants, and the construction of a laboratory. Personally, I feel really committed to, and hopefully people who buy the coffee will feel the same way. The Golden Triangle Asian Elephant Foundation.
What was the point of that? Showing them making out all their own elephants. I guess they're happy. They're living a good life. Elephants are happy. I like what I'm hearing here, that they're helping the elephants this way, that it's a way that it has like a kind of a financial ecosystem that it's involved with this. It's not, I mean, who knows? Like everything that starts out good gets taken over by evil or greed. You start making a certain amount of money. Who knows? Like I said, this is 11 years ago. The presentation seems great. He seems sincere. It seems like they're doing good things with the elephants. Elephants aren't being mistreated in order to like, eat this freaking coffee, eat more, shit. So I'm hoping that it's cursed again. It's impossible. D. Booma-san has a foul mouth. Anyways, coffee shop talk. This guy seems pretty chill. I don't know. However, I see some of you putting in here. Shannon, in my head, I just think this is something that should not be happening. And that might be the case because they'll always abuse it. And if you have animals involved, then they'll probably abuse the animals. However, we'll have to do a follow-up check and see if we can find any controversy around this Black Ivory coffee company. And he has definitely been up to his eyeballs in IT. I think I've only done 2 curse words so far in this show, and you're not going to make me say another one, I hope. Anyways, for 10 years, that was 10 years, I think, in the development process. And then this is 11 years ago. So that you're talking over 2 decades of this guy doing this, at least from my understanding. This is a heck of a gimmick idea someone thought of. Poop coffee beans. It's also the civets, those cat-like ones that we covered in the Kopi Luwak. Kopi Luwak sounds good till it scales up. Exactly, it sounds good until it scales up. And then I'm finding this Black Ivory is the most expensive coffee. Therefore, this company has the monopoly on this. So I hope, and then the more that the money comes in, man, like it's been 11 years. You can see this guy. We can do a fast forward right now, and this guy's got gold teeth. He's got chains on. He's got freaking cornrows, and he's just like living a gangster lifestyle. Who freaking knows, man? Oh yes, we should do some research on this. I covered the Kopi Luwak, and I was like, it just has more of like an interesting thing. And then someone immediately in the comments after it was posted was like, yeah, they abuse those cats and they put them into cages. And I was like, dang it, I should have known it. So for this one, we are going to consider that right now there are elephants that are being force fed a lot of these beans, and it's not a good thing. However, we don't know that. We'll do some research. Let's finish this one out. Oh, humans ruin everything.
Is a Thai registered charity. It has about 26 elephants, and roughly 18 of them have been rescued from the street. So what the foundation does, it rescues these elephants, brings them to a beautiful place here in northern Thailand, and provides a home, a safe place for the elephants to be, provides a home for the mahouts, and a stipend for them as well, and food for the elephants, and regular veterinary care as well. We put a lot of time into making sure that's really high coffee quality standards. So 100% Thai Arabica beans, they're hand-picked and they're not machine stripped off a tree. They're inspected to make sure that they're all ripe. The coffee is washed numerous times, it's sun-dried. We roast it in small batches, 3 kilos at a time. When we send it out, we roast pretty much just at most the day before it goes out. So you're always getting fresh coffee, and it's going to be very aromatic and flavorful. On the positive side, what motivates me is I love doing this. I mean, my dream job is to do something that's entrepreneurial, that's creative, that's international. I get to be my own boss. I have a whole range of problems that I really find interesting to address. I deal with a real cross section of people, everyone from, you know, 5-star hotels to mahouts. I get to travel and visit quite a few countries, and I get to feel like I'm making a little bit of a difference by helping the Golden Triangle Asian Elephant Foundation. I mean, the reality is we live in a really fast-paced world.
Golden Triangle Asian Elephant Foundation. What the heck is that? That doesn't sound good. Golden Triangle. All right, we'll finish this up, and I did pull up. We'll look at some of the controversy.
And what I want to do is create a little bit of an escape. And that's why I only sell to 5-star hotels, because that provides a high level of service.
5-star hotels, big money, powerful, greedy people involved. That's a red flag too.
And a beautiful ambiance, so that people can be, when the coffee's being served, all the senses are being hit. You know, you're seeing that visually this beautiful machine, you're smelling fresh coffee being hand ground. And my hope is I kind of go back to a time where people actually had conversation and not just stare down at their iPhone or their BlackBerry. It takes a certain type of person who's going to be open-minded, adventurous, willing to spend a little bit more for an experience that they're probably not going to have anywhere else in the world. I think people want to have a great experience, and there's a lot of...
Right, biscuits. That does sound right, right? The Golden freaking Triangle is the Asian drug trade. That makes sense. This is in Thailand, and then Maldives, or however they say it. This could be a lot controversial. And like I said, this video is 11 years old. He could have started out legit with good intentions. I mean, I'm sure he wanted to make a good chunk of money. Maybe he wanted to help elephants, but there are some red flags, and we're going to look at them. We're almost done with this video. We'll take a look at that and just make sure that we cover our bases this time.
People out there who like coffee as well. And really what I'm trying to do is combine all three to make a great cup of coffee, have a beautiful presentation, and really just for people to take a break from the world and just take it easy, enjoy the surroundings, have nice conversation, and feel good about the product that they're consuming.
Because who shouldn't feel good about drinking a cup of coffee that an elephant shits out? I mean, all right. Let's pull up at least a surface level search. Now, it would obviously need a deeper dig, and I haven't done that in preparation for this. It would be a follow-up, and you guys could all do your own research. Bring this stuff to you. Yes, he also could be just laughing his ass off at making rich people basically pay big money to drink elephant poop coffee. Jesus loves you for eternity. Amen. Love it. All right, let's get into this. Just a brief, like I said, overview of the Black Ivory coffee, a luxury coffee made from beans digested by elephants, faces ethical concerns related to animal welfare and the production process. Okay. Yeah, of course. Anything involving animals, there's going to be some controversy just at that very fact. Let's see if they get into anything specific, though. Because as Biscuits pointed out, that golden ivory trade is like a trade route that is very nefarious. Anyways, from my understanding, right? While the company claims to rescue elephants and donate a portion of profits, critics point to potential for animal exploitation, especially given the high cost and limited supply. Exactly. There's going to be a high demand. If you're working with 5-star hotels, they're going to be like, bro, people want this freaking coffee. And some people show up to our hotel and they expect to get this coffee, and we need more. Therefore, you're going to make the animals eat more and process more of this. So anyways, the process involves feeding elephants coffee cherries, collecting the beans from their dung, dung coffee. And the company states that the elephants are not harmed by the caffeine. So they're ingesting a lot of beans that have the caffeine in them. I wonder how much of the caffeine is actually being taken out and absorbed into the animal as opposed to left in the bean for the process of drinking the coffee for a human purposes. Anyways, because you get these elephants all freaking hyped up, blood pressure up, and it could be really bad if you're forcing them to eat a lot of it. However, the high price and limited production raised questions about the sustainability and ethical implications of this poop coffee. Let's be real, it is poop coffee. And people, this is the most expensive coffee in the world, people. This black ivory elephant shit coffee. There's curse word number 3. You're welcome. Here's a more detailed look at the controversy, animal welfare concerns. The primary concern revolves around the well-being of the elephants, of course, while Black Ivory Coffee Company claims to rescue elephants and use their product as a means of funding their care. Critics question whether the elephants are being treated ethically. Yeah, we're good on the screen. The limited availability of the coffee also raises concerns about the potential for forced feeding or other unethical practices to increase production, which is what I've been talking about. It seems like natural greedy instinct or process that would evolve into this production, because if you're making that much money off this coffee and you're working with big money hotels, like I said, they're going to want more, and then you're going to have to figure out how you get more elephants eating more of these beans and processing all of it. Sustainability and resource management. Producing black ivory coffee is inefficient. It takes a large amount of coffee cherries, around 33 kilograms, to produce just 1 kilogram of usable beans, as many are lost due to chewing, fragmentation, or being left in the wilderness. This raises questions about the sustainability of the process and whether it is a responsible use of resources. Ethical consumption. The highest cost of black ivory coffee is around $50 per cup. And its limited availability means it is primarily consumed by a wealthy clientele. Of course, greedy, elite, wealthy assholes. Not that all of them are assholes, but fuck them, because they ain't really stepping up, and I don't see any of them in this fight. You know, if it's like, would anybody that actually had money ever jump into podcasting and fucking start saving the world or trying to help? Like something like getting an influence that would actually fight against like the technocracy that's coming, the government shit. No, they never fucking do. They will protect their money. I was in a relationship with a girl who was a trust fund baby and millions of dollars. And when it came down to it, I realized that she chose the money over me. They always will, because how can they? They've only known living life with money. Some of these people maybe have grown from poverty and become wealthy, and then therefore it is what it is. You have a situation like Mike Gill, where arguably he was poor family, built his business, became uber wealthy, and then gave it all up and now lives homelessly. So there's that. But overall, wealthy people tend not to want to freaking put their money in jeopardy. So anyways, getting back to the ethical consumption investigation here, this raises questions about whether the enjoyment of this unique coffee justifies the potential ethical concerns associated with its production. And then comparing it to the Kopi Luwak, which is the cat-like species that I covered before, which also is the same process of eating these cherries, excreting them, and then you're eating cat poop coffee. But black ivory coffee's production, again, elephant dung coffee, method is similar to that of the Kopi Luwak, coffee made from beans consumed and excreted by civet cats. The Kopi Luwak industry has faced significant criticism due to unethical farming practices and animal welfare concerns. Now, these animals are much smaller than an elephant, so you could put them in a ton of cages and it would be horrendous, and likely is the case if you're making that much money. But black ivory coffee, despite its claims of ethical sourcing, is also vulnerable to similar criticisms due to the nature of the process. It's just the way it is in the world, too. In essence, the controversy surrounding black ivory coffee highlights the tension between luxury goods, ethical consumption, and animal welfare. While the company attempts to position itself as a force for good, the process itself raises valid questions about the true cost of this exclusive coffee. So, coming back to what Biscuit said, I think that we biscuits should create a company that uses the processes that you are talking about and market in a way that goes against these unethical practices of forcing animals to eat these coffee beans. Biscuit says caffeine is bound up until the heat from the roasting process breaks carboxylic bonds, and only then will it become soluble. You know a little bit more about coffee than I realized. I don't think you don't drink coffee though, bro. You like drink that sweet tea stuff, right? Why not talk about this, huh, Veronica? Just Google this. An elephant can ejaculate approximately 100 milliliters of semen. Let me get that right because that's very important. 100 milliliters of semen. That's a lovely fact. Thank you for sharing. Oh my gosh. I think we should have Biscuits poop coffee. I will force feed Biscuits coffee beans and he will eat them and we will make coffee and lots of money. I will make lots of money. Biscuits will eat coffee until I say you're done. I'm just joking. Just joking. You guys know I'm a jokester. Biscuits poop coffee. I think that would be good. Veronica continues. By the way, semen is in some skin creams, Skin Science, and C Men, for example. C, like literally the letter C, if you're listening to this as a podcast on Spotify, because the Naughty Ninja podcast is on Spotify. C, capital C, the letter MEN. There's actually a skin cream called that. Wow. So this might be an investigation. I don't know if it would be for a coffee shop talk, and we might have already pushed the limits on this, but coffee shop talk, man, we can talk about anything. People talk about their drama in coffee shops, like what's going on in your life, how's your sex life, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we can talk about pretty much anything, I guess, in a coffee shop talk. I try to keep these more like this is like the lighthearted balance of the insanity that is Booma when he goes on the F-bomb brigade. Oh, so you do like coffee. Okay. I'm very informed about the extractions of pharmacologically active ingredients from plants and whatnot. Excellent. Then let's create a coffee that could be we got to do something exotic though, otherwise it's just kind of a lame coffee compared to coffee that is elephant dung coffee and cat dung coffee. However, we would be going up against the unethical practices that is using these animals for luxury coffee. What's up, Patrice? Hey, Booma. On the panel the other day, you mentioned talking about the Golden Dome. I don't think you got there, but hope you discussed this at some point. I know there was some things that I get brought up, and then it was you know you get some of these ladies that have a lot to say in there, and it's hard to like interject and like get back to it. I will. That is one that I've also, Patrice, had in my mind to ask even Sabrina like the next time she comes on. So what we're doing right now, as long as it continues to go forward, tomorrow I'll be with Biscuits doing the Digital Dojo Variety Show, which is freaking awesome. And then the next Tuesday I'll have Sabrina on. And I think Biscuits and I are thinking about doing another show that's not a dojo show, a different show as well, getting mixed in there. So like Biscuits, he has a lot of information, and I want to bring him on and highlight that too. But the Golden Dome thing and what that actually does, I think it like amplifies their ability to control people, basically, is how I understand it. However, I'm not the expert, and I will make sure that we discuss that at length. So let's continue with the semen. Why not? Another company called, this is the capital C MEN, Beauty, now delivers actual semen to your home in discreet packaging. It's just semen? Like is it a specific kind of semen? It's elephant semen? What is it? Is it where is the semen coming from? It says semen, so I'm assuming like that would come from actual human. Like, what's going on here? They maintain that the donors for their product are tested monthly to ensure a safe and quality moisturizer. So we got semen talk, and then we got continuation of the coffee talk. It is probably quite feasible to synthesize the fermentation they are getting inside an elephant. Yes, let's prove that. And then we would be able to go up against them. And then we would probably do well just because we were going up against questionable animal practices, is how we maybe put it. So are we going to combine the semen moisturizer into a creamer for elephant shit coffee? There's number 4, I think. And it would be biscuits and coffee. Yes, you nailed it. We're stealing that. You better patent that. Jesus loves you for eternity. We're taking it. Biscuits and coffee. Yes, he's an entrepreneur. He really is. He's a smart guy. He's got a lot of ideas, that's for sure. And that's when it comes down to it. Humans are disgusting. None on here, though. Not us. No, not us. Even though everybody's got their things. That's why I believe like that we all fall short of the glory of God. Therefore, no one can boast. Those things ring true to me. Like we all fall short. But yes, getting to the Golden Dome and how it would work, it would be an amplification and a further control system. That's in the general sense, the way that I have understood it, just in the little that I've been exposed to what they've talked about in that, Patrice. But a thorough discussion would be great. I think it might not be known so much until the dome is explained further. And if it has been explained further, then I need to grab that and ask them those specific questions. Okay, so here we go. Okay, this means that semen can be used to do everything from moisturizing your skin to healing your sunburn. Not only that, but a bull semen treatment is being used in some hair salons to give you locks. That's my understanding, man, is that he was trying to create a whole freaking race of his genetics. He's like going to become like the next Genghis Khan. It was going to be the Jeffrey Epstein line of genetics in, I think they say like, I'll look it up real quick. But I thought it was said that Genghis Khan genetics are in what percentage of humans, of people, whatever. Approximately 0.5% of men worldwide and about 8% of men in certain regions of Asia are believed to be descendants of Genghis Khan. This genetic lineage is traced through the Y chromosome, which is passed down from father to son. And Jeffrey Epstein was trying to do that. He was trying to impregnate and spread his genetics out like that. It's just freaking crazy. Another reason why it makes me so angry that Trump's pushing everybody away from Epstein. There's so many things to discuss when it comes to Epstein. I bet that's an awkward conversation when someone asks what you do for a living. I provide stuff for face cream. What is the process of extracting the semen? Is it ethical? Oh, dear Lord. Because it's like, you have the people that talk about love babies, where it's actually the process of making love. And then you have the ones that's just like a casual hookup, where there's no actual intimacy between the partners, and the difference between what that does to the child. There's a lot of questions about that. What is this person thinking in their head as it's being extracted, if you know what I mean? And what kind of person is this? Do you get to know the quality of the person? It could be a psychopath like Jeffrey Epstein providing this moisturizer, or coffee dung cream. What an episode this turned out to be, y'all. We're coming close to the hour. I like these to stay a little bit within more of a range where people don't look at it and be like, I don't got time for that. So we'll start wrapping up here. We've talked about everything from skunks to fox interactions to the kittens and kitties and elephants, both potentially positive if they're helping the elephants, to unethical potential practices, to semen moisturizers, the potential for semen cream, the potential for coffee, or what are we going to call it? Biscuits and coffee, where we force biscuits to eat coffee, process it. That's just joking. Or we do a legit business to combat the unethical practices of Kopi Luwak and Black Ivory Coffee Company. Huh? There we go. We got some ideas. Maybe we could do it as a team. We're gonna need a whole crew. Everybody's hired. I love you all. This was Coffee Shop Talk number 34. We got past the Masonic numbers that we always see, so we're at number 34 on Monday, August 18th, fairly early in the morning. At this point, it's 10:47 a.m. Central Time. But I appreciate you all being here on short notice. So God bless you all, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.